Hello and welcome everybody to the English grammar lesson level beginner. If you're new here, welcome. I'm happy that you decided to join us. There is only one rule for you to follow and remember, and that is that this is an open lesson. So if you don't understand or want me to translate a word or a phrase, do not hesitate to stop me anytime and I will be happy to go back. If you will enjoy today's lesson, I hope so, do not to forget to visit our website teledom.online, where you can find all the information and as well schedule online lessons and online meetings. If you become a guest on our educational website, you can get all the materials that we use on the lessons, but as well you can get the recordings of past online lessons and recordings of past online meetings. So that was the short introduction. Teledom.online, that's our website where you will find more information. And let's move on and start with today's topic, and that is senses. This might seem as a very easy and basic topic, but there are more information for you to know and understand and learn. So today we will focus on the 5 basic senses. We will talk about the verbs that we use to express those senses, and they can be followed by an adjective or noun. We will focus and talk about the difference between verbs see, look, and watch. And as well, we will talk about the difference between verb hear and listen to. So what are those 5 basic senses? So each sense is associated with a specific sensory organ. So let's start with sight. So eyes give us sight. So sight. Then it's hearing. The ears give us the hearing, the sense of hearing. Then we have smell. We use nose to detect smell. Then we have tongue to give us the sense of taste. And lastly, we have skin to give us the sense of touch. So 5 basic senses: sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. So let's look at the verbs we use to express the basic senses. So start with sight, which simply use the verb look. It looks terrible. He looks very nice. The book looks interesting. Or you can express it with look like. It looks like a wedding cake. Or she looks like her mother. So it's not the same, but it's similar. So you can always say it looks like, or it looks good, bad, it looks interesting. We can always add some adjective. Then what about hearing? We simply use the verb sound. He sounds German. Or the song sounds very good. Or we can express it with the phrase sounds like. So it has similar sound. It sounds like a good idea. It sounds like a plan. Or it sounds like Ricky Martin's song. So sound to express hearing. When we want to express taste, we simply use the verb taste. It tastes strange. Or the wedding cake tastes very good. Or we can say taste like to express similar taste. This tastes a bit like chicken. So it's not the chicken, but it tastes a little bit like chicken. So taste or taste like. To express touch, we use simple verb feel. So we can say it feels soft, or the fabric feels nice, or it feels like when we want to express similarity. It feels like wool. I'm not saying it is a wool, but it feels like wool. So similar touch, similar feeling. And the fifth sense, the smell, we simply use the verb smell. It smells wonderful. It smells different. It smells interesting. Or we can say smell like. So this smells like garlic. I don't know if it is garlic or not, but it smells like garlic. So focus on these simple verbs: look, sound, taste, feel, and smell. And now I want you to focus and really understand what I want to say, that with those verbs, we can use them as well as nouns. That's a specific thing for senses. So let's look at the first example sentence. I didn't like the look of fish. So the look of, it's now a noun. I really like the look of her dress. Prekladáme ako slovo vzhľad, podstatné meno. Let's look at the second sentence. Do you really like the taste of olives? Or I like the taste of chocolate. So it's not it tastes nice, that's a verb, but when I say I like the taste of olives, that's a noun. Takže v preklade chuť, podstatné meno. The taste of. The third example sentence is we could hear the sound of church bells. So sound of something. The sound of the prayer or the sound of the song. We could say it sounds very nice, or the sound of it is very nice. V preklade zvuk. Zvuk niečoho. Podstatné meno. And the fourth example, she hates the smell of petrol. So it's the smell of something, a noun. Or I prefer the smell of flowers, we could say. Or the flowers smell very nice. Vôňa v preklade, podstatné meno. So the look of something, the taste of something, the sound of something, or the smell of something. We are lacking the touch. We really do not create the phrase, the touch of something, okay? So that's why I want you to remember the phrases, the look of something, the taste of something, the sound of something, and the smell of something. Let's look at this quick example. Now I want you to complete the sentences using the words from the box. The first one is already done. Those shoes look new. When did you buy them? Let's look at the second sentence. I don't think I will try these speeches yet. They don't feel. If you know the answer, turn on your mic and answer. They don't feel ripe. Okay, they're not ready. Ripe means if the fruit is or vegetable is ripe, it is ready to eat. Let's look at the third sentence. This milk smells. I will open another bottle. If you know the answer, please speak up. This milk smells
horrible. Maybe.
Horrible. Very good. Number 4. We had some fruit which tasted a bit like
sour, maybe.
Banana.
Banana.
Just simply. Some fruit tasted like banana. It wasn't banana, but it tasted like banana. So it had very similar taste. What about number 5? My feet are feeling very after the run.
Old socks.
Sore, so they're tired. My feet are very sore after the run. Sore. What about number 6? I love the smell of what kind of bread?
Fresh bread.
Bread. Very good. Let's look at the number 7 sentence.
Please mute your phone mics, please.
Yes.
Okay.
That painting actually looks like a photograph. Number 8. I met Malcolm the other day and he really looks like his brother. He looks like his brother. It's not that they are not the same person, but they look like, so they look similar. What about number 9? It's a pink fish, but it doesn't taste like salmon. So it's not the salmon, but it has a similar taste. What about number 10? This cheese is terrible. It smells like
socks.
Old socks. Very good. Yes, it smells like old socks. So the cheese is not the old socks, but it smells like old socks. What about number 11? Your telephone sounds just like a Your telephone sounds just like
a doorbell.
Like a doorbell. Very good. And last one. This dress was quite cheap, but it feels like
old socks.
No, all socks is already done or used. So this dress was quite cheap, but it feels like silk. Okay, this is not silk, but it feels like silk. Okay, let's move on to the difference between 3 important verbs I want you to understand. See, look, and watch. So first one is see. It's really if you're able to see everything around you. So when you open your eyes and everything you see or you can see, we use the verb see. So at the moment I see the laptop, the mouse, I see a wall behind the laptop. I'm not looking at it, I just see it. So in the example sentence, I can't see a thing without my glasses means I'm not able to see a thing without my glasses. Or I see a chair in front of me. There is a chair and I see it. Next verb is look at. Now I want you to really understand and remember that we use preposition at with the verb look. So look at. So it's difference between see and look. I just simply see everything around me, but I am looking at the computer, or I am looking at the laptop, or I want you to look at the window or look at specific things. So pay attention to specific thing. So for example, I can't find my keys. I've looked everywhere. So it means I paid attention and looked everywhere. Not just see the room, I physically looked. And the third verb is watch. That's probably the easiest one of these three. And it's just to look for longer time. So pay attention for longer time. So for example, watch a movie or watch a sports match. So watch a football match. Or in the phrase, the police watched him for weeks. Okay, the police followed him and was looking for longer time. So remember, see is just to be able to see. If you open your eyes, look at directly or pay attention, sorry, and watch for longer time. So let's look at more examples. If you look at the map, you can see the mountains on the left. So if you pay attention to the map, you will be able to see those mountains. Then the second sentence, he ran into me because he wasn't looking. Okay, he wasn't paying attention. Okay, for example, if you're driving in your car, you need to pay attention, but maybe you're not looking at your phone, hopefully. Okay, but if you're looking at your phone, you're not paying, you're not looking in front of you. And then the third example sentence, he ran into me because he didn't see me. There is a big difference between the second and the third example sentence, but because if I say he didn't see me, he wasn't able to see me. Okay, maybe he was behind the wall or behind the corner. So there is big difference I want you to understand between he ran into me because he wasn't looking. Okay, he was looking that way and he was not looking this way, so he wasn't looking. But if he didn't see me, he was unable to see me. Please, if you have any questions related to these verbs, now it's time to ask.
I have a question, Euka.
Go ahead.
When I was few times abroad in a shop, and I was in a shop, and the vendor or the seller came to me and he asked me, "May I help you, or do you need something?" And I told him that I'm just looking. Is it right, or should I tell?
Yes, you can simply just say, yes, I'm just looking. Very good. This is the proper way to use the verb look. Because if you just see, you have just your eyes open. But you were looking at clothes or the objects in the shop. Okay?
Okay.
You weren't watching. Imagine, watch to use sit, you have to sit down and enjoy the view, let's say. But looking, very good. Yes, I'm just looking. Simple phrase. Very good. Does anybody have another question?
And what is more proper? Only looking or looking at in this case, when it is in a general way?
If we want to add something behind the verb look, so look at the window or look at the picture. If we want to add something behind the verb look, always use the right preposition. In this case, it's look at. But just to simply say, I am just looking, nothing behind that, just simply say, I'm just looking. But if I say, I am just looking at these clothes, or I'm just looking at the pictures, use the preposition. Is it clear?
Thanks. Yes, thanks.
Okay. Let's move on to the difference between the verbs hear and listen to. So with the verb hear, it's very similar to the previous see. Here is just you're able to hear something. You don't have to pay attention. You just sit and hear things around you. So in a sentence, I couldn't hear what she said. You are physically unable to hear something. Okay, maybe she was speaking very quietly, but you were physically unable. I couldn't hear. Or in a second example sentence, I can sometimes hear the trains from my bedroom. So you are just sitting in your bedroom and you don't have to do anything and you hear those sounds. But pay attention, we use the verb listen to or listen. So I don't know what she said because I wasn't listening. I want you to understand the situation. Imagine there are more than 2 or 3 people. You are talking to somebody and you are listening to them, but maybe you are not listening to them. So I don't know what she said because I wasn't listening to her, we could add. So I wasn't listening, I wasn't paying attention. And now I want you to focus on the second example sentence. I was listening to the radio when I heard a strange noise outside. So imagine the situation. You are at home, you are listening to the radio, so the radio is on and you're listening to the songs or the podcast, for example, and suddenly you hear some noise. So that's the difference between listen and hear. And I want you to remember the preposition to, listen to something. So it's the same with look or look at. So I'm listening or I'm listening to the radio. I'm listening to the podcast. I'm listening to her speaking. So there is the difference between just simply hear without doing anything, or listen to somebody, paying attention to sounds. Please, if you have any question related to hear and listen to, now is the time to ask. Okay, if not, let's cover the last sense, and it's touch. And we use 3 simple verbs: touch, press, and hold. So just touch means to just make a contact. Don't touch those wires, they are dangerous. Let me touch your hand. Just make a contact. Then we have verb press. So push or press. You have to press the button to start the machine, for example, or please press the button. So press. And then we use verb hold. So hold. Take and hold. I don't feel safe here. Could you hold my hand? So not just touch it, not press it, but hold it in your hands, for example, or hold it in your head as well. So please, if you have any question related to touch, press and hold, now is the time to ask, because we will move on to some exercise later. If not, I want you to complete the sentences about your own likes and dislikes and write them, please, in the chat box. So just simply create a sentence. I love the smell of flowers, or I love the smell of roasted chicken, or I hate the sound of violin, for example, or I love the taste of chocolate. I hate the taste of fish, for example. So now complete these sentences, but with your own likes and dislikes. And please write them in the chat box. The chat box you can find in the in the lower part. So if you,
or even you can show us on your panel over there. We can see your panel maybe.
okay, so just create 1 or 2 sentences and just add your own like or dislike. I love the smell of something. I hate the smell of something. I love the sound of something. I hate the sound of something. Or I love the taste of something and I hate the taste of something. I will check your answers at the end of the lesson. Shall we move on? Okay. Thank you very much. And let's do quick exercise. You have 2 options and I want you to choose the correct one. Remember the difference between see, look, watch, hear, listen to, hold, press, and touch. And I want you to choose the correct option. So I was the radio when a terrible noise outside. If you know the answer, turn on your mic and speak up. I was listening
I was listening to the radio when I
very
hear.
good. When I heard a terrible.
Yes.
Very good. Let's look at the second sentence. The government is going to introduce new laws about noisy neighbors. I listened to or heard it on the radio this morning.
Listen to. I think.
Okay. In this sentence, you can use both. So imagine if you sit in your car and you are paying attention. So what's going on the radio? So you're listening to the radio.
Yes.
But maybe you're just somewhere where the radio is on. So you're not paying attention to the radio, you just hear it. Just sudden noise. So in this sentence, you can use I listened to it on the radio or I heard it on the radio. So only in this sentence, there are 2 options. Let's look at the number 3 sentence. She turned up the volume because I still couldn't
hear it.
Very good. Number 4. I don't know if it's antique. We will get an expert to come and
see it.
Look at it.
Look at it. Very good. Because just see, remember, if you open your eyes, you're able to see. But if we will get an expert to come and look at it, pay attention, we choose the verb look at it. Number 5, they wanted to stay and watch or look at the program, but it was a bit late. Watch. Very good. Number 6, I was very angry with Tom. He just wasn't hearing or listening to what I was saying.
I think hearing.
Okay, is it hearing or paying attention?
Listening to.
He wasn't listening to what I was saying.
He didn't focus on that what I.
Very good. Number 7, can you bend over and touch or press your toes?
Toes, bend.
Just touch.
Just touch. Very good. Maybe if you're strong enough, you can press them, but simple order is bend over and touch your toes. Number 8, you have to touch or press the eject button if you want to get the video out.
Press.
Press the button.
Very
But,
good. Press
can
the
can you
button.
say also push the button?
Yes, you can say push the button, but push means push away usually.
Okay.
But press, just simply apply the pressure. Okay, number 9, could you touch or hold this video for a moment while I move the TV?
Just hold the pause button.
Very good. Hold, hold. And last one, if you look or watch carefully, you can see or look how the man does the trick with those cards.
If you look carefully.
Very good. If you look carefully, you can
See
how. Yes,
see how the man does the trick with those hands. So see, you're able to see. And if you pay attention, if you look carefully. Very good. So let's quickly review. So let's start with the sense taste. So we use it to express and describe taste as food. So it tastes very good, or the wedding cake tastes terrible. But as well, we can use the word or verb taste when we talk about beginning to understand. So if you hear the phrase, I get the taste of it, means I'm beginning to understand what the topic is about. So maybe after this lesson, you could say, I got the taste of the topic tenses. So you begin to understand. And as well, we can use the word taste as a noun and to talk about somebody's good taste or bad taste for something. So she has a good taste, or he has a bad taste, for example, to talk about your class. If we talk about touch, we just simply make a contact, but you can very often hear the phrase keep in touch. So for example, at the end of your email, you can say, let's keep in touch via email or personally, keep in touch. And as well, if you hear the phrase, it touched my heart, so you got some emotional or heart feeling, okay? Something can touch your heart in a good way or as well in a bad way. So it's not particularly good or bad. So it can touch you. It can have some effect on you. If sight, we said look at, but there is another preposition to use with the verb look, and that's look for. So search. I'm looking for a new flat, or I'm looking for my glasses. I don't know where I put them. So look for, search. Look at, pay attention. And then another meaning for the verb see is to understand. So you can simply say, I see what you mean, or I see where you are going. I understand what you mean. I understand where you are going. Okay, see and understand. When we talk about smell, we said that smell is a verb and as well noun, but you can hear new words. So for example, scent, when it's a positive, so nice scent or good scent, nice perfume scent. But when we talk about bad smell, that's an odor. So that's a good word or vocabulary built for you. And as well, we can smell the bad situation. So you think it's going to be bad. So I smell the bad situation, or I smell the problem, for example. And lastly, hear or hearing. If you say, listen to me, It is, I want you to focus on me. I want you to understand me. So you can say, I see what you mean, or I hear you. There is a very similar meaning. So it is up to you what you understand and what you remember from this lesson. But if you want to express, I understand you, you can say, I see what you mean, or I hear you. So that's it for today's lesson, and now is the time for your questions. So if you have any question, now is the time to ask.
Should I stop the recording in the meantime?
Yes, you can stop the recording, but before that, I want you to say thank you very much for being good students. If you enjoy today's lesson, do not forget to visit our website, teledom.online, and you can get all the information, the freshest news, and schedule meetings. Thank you very much and have a nice day.